final story tonight. Last week, disregarding advice from his own health experts, President Trump, the Big Daddy D, threatened to cut funding if schools do not fully reopen in the fall. Trump also attacked the CDC's reopening guidelines for schools that would, help keep kids safe as being onerous and expensive. Now, I, Norm MacDonald, totally know what onerous meant before reading that. But to help out, some of you at home who might not know, because, I just said I totally did, we're going to read the definition to you right now. Onerous, adjective, of a task, duty, or responsibility involving an amount of effort and difficulty that is oppressively burdensome. Let me just use it in a sentence pertaining to this situation. President Trump thinks keeping kids safe from getting sick or dying is increasingly onerous. Onerous. Well, we know who has a dictionary on toilet paper now, huh? This brings us to tonight's segment of Breaking the Norm.
Breaking the norm, breaking the norm, breaking the norm, breaking the norm.
Trump has threatened to cut funding to schools that don't reopen, even though he has already cut school funding in the past and will continue to cut funding regardless. This year, they propose cutting funding by $5.6 billion, and in 2019, did so with a $7.1 billion cut to the Department of Education. Sending those kids back to school, okay? You gotta send them. But only give them dirt and rocks to learn with. And I'm talking everyday rocks that you can find in the woods. None of those nice rocks they use for landscaping, okay? The president says that kids want to go back to school. His reasoning is if kids go back to school and get sick, then they're allowed to stay home. And what kid doesn't love a sick day, baby? Oh, wait, no kid? No kid likes to be home legit sick with life-threatening virus? Huh. Makes you really rethink Ferris Bueller's Day Off if instead of Ferris pretending to be homesick from school so he could play hooky and live life to its fullest, if he were home, bedridden, actually deathly sick with the coronavirus, just wishing that he could live long enough to see graduation. Kind of changes that quote. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look at it once in a while, or operate with precaution during a global pandemic, you could miss it. Literally. In Texas, where COVID-19 cases are spiking, teachers are making sure their wills are in order before the state forces them back into overcrowded classrooms. Betsy DeVos, the United States Secretary of Education, has been quoted saying that each individual school will know and be able to figure out how they can reopen and operate safely. You are absolutely right, Betsy. Schools and teachers do know what it's like in the classroom and are completely aware that there is no chance in hell you can keep Boogerfinger Bobby socially distanced from Hugs Too Much Howie, let alone ensure that the rooms are 100% clean for Loves to Lick Windows Lorelei. And even if they could, they don't have the funding to begin with to hire enough teachers or to spatially correct the generous average of 20 kids per teacher ratio that exists in most classrooms across America. We're already doing a massive disservice towards our youth and their education in this country. It cannot be the norm for our government to continually strip away, pinch, squeeze dollars from our ridiculously underfunded educational system, let alone in these unprecedented times, threaten to strong-arm and to bully our schools out of the little money that they get. It's pretty sick, if you ask me, to act like that you're dangling a carrot in front of our nation's educational providers, when you know it's not even a carrot that you're teasing anymore? It's half of a piece of parsnip. You sick bastards! Who willingly eats parsnip? But I guess you do if you're starving. Break the norm.